Hi everybody, I'm Paddy Hunter-Murphy, and this is the Senior Pickleball Tips Podcast, where we discuss everything pickleball as it relates to us seniors. Hi everybody, I have with me again the wonderful Jeff Gehm from Newcastle, Pennsylvania of Limitless Pickleball. Coach Jeff, he's with us and he's going through the 10 different shots that we need in pickleball, and we are looking at new beginners. So these are people rated 1 to 2. Some of you may not have even stepped on a court yet. You might be thinking about it. Some of you might have been once, maybe twice. So let's just look at new beginners. But first I want to welcome back Jeff Gehm, Coach Jeff from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, who's an extremely old friend of Senior Pickleball Tips. Is a moderator and is our sort of expert coach. So Jeff, hi, and how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Great to see you, Paddy. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and I'm looking forward to this one.
So Jeff, let's look. If we're a new beginner, how should we be doing this serve? Are we looking at a drop serve here?
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, there is a cacophony of different people. So I kind of let them do what I explain 3 different ways to serve, and I kind of let them feel out which one they feel. There's the true drop serve, there is the step through serve, and then there's the standing at the line serve. A lot of times, and you know, you as a coach, you get so many different people in here. Some people look at it, you model it, you do it, they say, oh, you mean like this, and they hit it and they're perfectly fine right off the bat. And then you get people who really have a hard time understanding it. So what I typically will do is if somebody can't get it deep enough or get it across the net, I'll move them up. I'll move them up in 2 steps, or I'll move them 2 steps more until they get to a point where they can get it over the net, land it somewhere in the correct zone, and then I'll start moving them back and adding different things in with that. I use modeling as bowling a lot of times, and I use a lot of modeling as throwing a cornhole bag. And I actually have cornhole bags in my bag hopper, and I make them throw it, and that's how they do it. So that's how we learn beginners.
So a default serve for someone who's hardly ever played or never played before, I mean, it would be a drop serve or just a very simple volley serve. Basically, just get it back, I guess.
Absolutely,
really.
Yes. Get it over, get it in. That's the mantra.
Get it over and get it in. I kind of concur with that. Get it over, get it in, so that you can start some kind of a rally. Brilliant.
And when you understand that the people that they're playing against are at the same level, so it's not like they're going to come in and cream the ball back. That's not what we're going to ask 3-5 or 4-0 players to do. The people that they're playing against are going to have a very rudimentary understanding as well.
Great. So let's move on to the return of serve for new beginners. And we're looking here people who are level 1.0 to 2.0. I mean, I guess, similar to what we've just said, just get the ball back into play, I guess.
Right. I really focus on making sure that they are behind the ball and they're keeping the ball in front of them. We have far too many people that come in with tennis strokes who are hitting the ball alongside of them. We want them to keep the ball in front of them. And that's a basic stroke that we will be using to build on as we go into the next 2 and 3 and 4 iterations of their levels. So keeping it in front of them and being able to push it across the net is the basic goal.
Okay, and that is, again, get it back and get it in, I guess. You know, someone who's hardly played. Yeah.
You can't play a game if you can't get a serve in and can't get a return serve in.
That's it. Good. Now, we're going to go to the third shot. Now, there's 2 third shots. There's the third shot drop, which is actually quite a difficult shot. I mean, I would guess that for a new beginner, you'd be saying a third shot drive. Again, just get it back. Simple as that. Would you be saying that?
Yes, I would be really coaching more towards a drive shot, and not a fast drive shot. Again, the goal is to be getting a third shot back over the net. Again, when they're playing against people at their own level, people are not going to be slamming it back at them or anything. So it's the very rudimentary game of jacks, where we're basically just asking you to get it back and forth over the net, and not. I actually advocate them not to keep score, just to back and forth. Let's just play it that way. We used to teach dinking, but nobody does that anymore with the aggressive paddles. So what I'm trying to get them to understand is, at this stage in the game, we're just trying to keep the ball live, get it back and forth over as many times as possible. And I actually advocate games that I put into my teaching that do that. So, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So basically, the serve, a drop serve or a simple volley serve, just get it in across the net and into the service area. The return is, again, just get it back, and similar to the third shot, just get it back and just start a little rally going, and that's where things happen and you start having fun. So
the thing is, most people, one of the hardest things we have people to do is come up to the net. So when they're getting it back and forth, it's almost like a little mini tennis game where it's landing there and they're hitting a ground stroke back, and then it lands again and another ground stroke back, which is fine. I want them to have fun while they're learning. So this is a basic thing that we start with as brand new beginners.
And we're going to be looking at the forehand drive, which I suppose, Jeff, a lot of people I suppose it's the most comfortable shot, basically, is it?
It probably is, especially for new beginners, though. I really just say, let's just get the ball over the net. Don't worry about how fast it goes, especially if you're just starting out. If you just had just played a couple of times, get the ball over and you hit it. As soon as you hit it in the net, the point's done. I find that a lot of beginners, and this never used to be true, but boy, lately with these paddles, a lot of the beginners try to hit the ball too hard. Even with a good forehand drive, even with advanced players, I'm coaching at 70%. I mean, if you hit it that hard, there are not a ton of people who are playing at 3.5 and 3.75 that can hit a 90% drive and keep it in bounds. It's just,
and that's good.
They don't have enough top spin. So
and that's good to tell new beginners. So to say, look, you don't have to go hell for leather. Just literally get it over the net and have fun, I guess, because as soon as you start getting it over the net and getting it back and getting into a little rally of 3 or 4 shots, that's when the fun begins, and that's where pickleball starts to get a hold on you.
It sure does. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But just make sure they're not overpowering it. If you get a chance and that ball is chest high and you're close to the non-volley zone and you think you can hit it down, start experimenting. I mean, you're not going to be playing for medals or anything. So, I don't have a problem with you starting to experiment. Just for beginners, I just tell people, I wish I would have taken this more as I was a beginner, but to keep that paddle way out in front of you so that you can hit down on the ball or that you can hit it forward. I see too many beginners. A lot of them were former tennis players or something, and they hit the ball too far back. So we want to make sure we're making contact in front and we're not trying to overpower it.
Very, very good advice. So folks, get your paddle out in front of you. I suppose one thing I read as well, which is for all levels, is always be able to see your paddle. Even if you take it back a little bit, it shouldn't be going further back so much. I mean, for new beginners, it's fine, just get it over. But if you can get into that habit of always being able to see your paddle, that's quite a good general rule, isn't it, for something like the forehand drive?
It is, especially the closer you get to the net. We don't want it out of our peripheral vision at all. Once you become more advanced and you become more comfortable with hitting drives, if you're on the baseline, your paddle's going to go out of your vision. But that's you're playing at 4.0 and above when you're playing at that. But for beginners, never let your paddle. I think that's a really good observation. Never let it get out of your sight. If you can't see the paddle, and that's what a lot of times what I'll do is I'll hold the paddle out and I'll say, okay, beginners, here what we're going to do. Everybody, keep your eyes forward and start taking your paddle over to the right on your forehand if they're right-handed. I said, when you can't see your paddle, stop. and they'll stop at various places, and I'll say, okay, that's too far.
Yeah.
Take it back 6 inches. And okay, that's as far back as I want to see your paddle. There's no reason to have your paddle back any further than that.
So basically, I suppose the two main things for new beginners on the forehand drive, or the forehand call it, is keep that paddle, just keep the rallies going, just have some fun, keep the paddle up front, and if you can, don't really let the paddle out of your vision, because that will help you keep it up front, I guess. Those are quite good
I think
rules of thumb.
about beginners. I think more about beginners. Let's play defensively as a beginner. Let's make sure you get the ball over the net. Let's make sure you make the other team hit it one more time. So I think a defensive start to as a beginner is a really good idea.
Excellent, yeah. And just before we get onto the backhand, and that's what makes fun. If you can just get a tiny bit of getting it over, and your rallies, you start with 3 or 4 in your rally, and then you've got 7 or 8 hitting the ball 7 or 8 times, and that's where the fun begins. So let's move on to the backhand drive. I suppose for new beginners, we're not really calling it a drive, just a backhand, really, isn't it?
Just a backhand, yeah. If you're trying to get a backhand drive as a beginner, you're setting yourself up for failure. Even at 3-5 and 4-0 and 4-5, backhand drives are not easy to hit. They require a good deal of patience. They require a good deal of skill and practice. So as a beginner, get it over. And what I normally teach my beginners is I start with the paddle out here, and I'll say it's kind of like a windshield wiper. All you're doing is opening the face of your paddle and pushing the ball as a forehand shot. It's the same with the backhand shot. You have your paddle here, you're turning it sideways, and then you're pushing it with your shoulder and your legs. So if I can get them to understand that the backhand and forehand are not drastically different in the way that you take the approach, I think they can become much more successful on the backhand. It seems to be some type of magical thing to be able to hit a backhand. It really isn't. It's not hard if you take that approach.
I think that's really good advice. I don't know what the right phrase would be, sort of push, not swipe, I guess.
I think I use the word push all the time. Yeah, I don't want you to, because swipe has the indication of you flicking your wrist and moving it across, where push keeps it going right in front of you. So that's why it's very important. That's a good discernment to make.
Yeah, so you new beginners with your forehands and your backhands, push, don't swipe.
Yep.
I just want to take a minute to tell you about seniorpickleballtips.com. Are you frustrated that your pickleball game just isn't improving? Tired of endless YouTube scrolling, confusing advice, and feeling like you're stuck at the same level? You're not alone. Seniorpickleballtips.com is here to help you change that. It's built specifically for senior players from beginner all the way to 4.0, with a clear step-by-step skill roadmap to help you get to the next level, structured lessons with blogs, videos and podcasts, and an easy-to-search library so you're never left wondering what to work on next. And best of all, you're never doing it alone. Our community forum is full of welcoming, supportive players just like you, cheering each other on, helping each other with advice, suggestions and tips, sharing real progress, and very importantly, having a lot of fun along the way. Join us at seniorpickleballtips.com and take the guesswork out of getting better and having fun on the pickleball court. That next level you've been chasing, it's closer than you think. So please go to seniorpickleballtips.com and check us out. Thank you. Now, let's get back to the podcast. Right, that's superb, Jeff. Thanks so much. Let's move on to the volley. I sometimes think very, very new beginners have a problem with this shot. Where would you start them off, the new beginners, with a volley, Jeff?
I always start them at the non-volley zone, and I always start them straight across from each other. And you know, as you get to play at your level and I start playing at my level, we do those fast hands battles. We move it back and forth across, trying to keep the ball in the air. One of the very important things that any pickleball player can learn from, and that's new beginners all the way up to 4.5s and 5.0s. You have to take the ball out of the air when you can. When you're in balance and you can reach forward and take that ball out of the air, you are taking time away from your opponents and you're creating better angles for you to hit the ball. Paddy, you know as well as I do, this game is about geometry. It's not necessary. It's not a power game as much as it is a geometric game where we're trying to hit certain angles and getting it away from people, making them reach for it, making them take it on the backhand and such. So that's what I really tell people. If you can take it out of the air, to do so, don't let it bounce if you can help it. And I would get into that from lesson number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, folks, you're standing just behind the non-volley zone line, the kitchen line. Literally, maybe an inch behind, I would suggest. And then you're leaning forward, and then you're allowed to volley. You're allowed to volley it as long as you're behind that kitchen line. And I suppose one thing we've got to be a bit careful of as seniors, leaning forward. If you lean forward a bit much, you've got to be careful. You strain those calves and those glutes and stuff. I'm sure you've come across this, Jeff.
Oh, once or twice. Yep. And still do. Yeah.
So be careful out there, folks. Slowly, just take it easy and enjoy yourself. So great. That's the volley. And again, literally, just get it back. A simple volley and just get it back. And I suppose you're more on the backhand, aren't you, really?
Yeah,
I mean, the forehand.
New beginners, I'm just get it over.
Just get it back.
And advanced beginners, then we're going to start to really,
right.
I'll put the discs out and, start to move them around and make sure that they have a little more knowledge to be able to hit it a little more cross-court or away from them. Yes.
Brilliant. Right. Well, we move on to the dink. The dink is when the ball is landing inside the kitchen, basically, and you want to sort of do almost like you let it bounce and then you gently put it over the net to land it into their kitchen. So where do you start with the dink with like brand new beginners? Is this a shot? I suppose give it a go, maybe. I don't know.
Oh no, that we end up with the dink. I used to teach dinking first when I first started playing. That's what everybody did. We dinked. But now we've gotten away from dinking. So now I've changed my strategy to teaching how a point is constructed. And the last part of the point is getting up to the non-volley zone and then getting into a dinking rally. So I do end with a dinking rally. What I will do is I will start beginners with cross-court dinks because it gives you more area to hit to. One of the hardest dinks to hit is that dink straight across. And everybody does this. You and I would get up to the line and we'd hit it back and forth straight across to each other. Well, when you stop and think about that, you've got 14 feet. And new beginners have not developed much of a touch yet. So I want them to have success. So I want to take them and bring them out more towards the edges of the center line, not center line, getting away from the outside line. And I want them to dink cross court. And then instead of having only 12 to 14 feet, I've added 19 to 22 feet now. And it gives them a little more gives them a little more leeway to have some errors. And then as they get better at that, then I start shrinking it in. I start bringing them both towards the center a little bit. And if I get 2 good students, I will let them go straight across from each other. But I kind of try to focus on who's doing what well and making sure they get that mastered before we start moving it in. So I'm really, if I have 8, I do clinics with 8 people a lot of times, and it depends on who's where. I'm constantly moving people around. We're not allowing people to move around until they get that and they have confidence in the shot.
Yeah. So that, I mean, the technique on the dink is this sort of keep your arm fairly straight and it's all from the shoulder. One could call it a pendulum. Is this what you're looking at?
Right. I'm looking at students, and this is the hardest thing, even up until 4.0 territory. is to get the student to keep the paddle in front of their body. Let it constantly be out there so that they are ready to receive the shot. What I see from beginners, 98% of them, is they will hit the dink and then the paddle will come down resting at their side. Then the ball will come back over, they will reach out again, hit the dink, and the paddle will come back resting at their side. And I'm always saying, look, you've already got the paddle out there. Don't move it, leave it alone. It's where it's supposed to be. And in that way, because this is the big thing for beginners, and beginners are going to tell you right now, 90% of you are going to hit it too hard. And the reason is you're bringing your paddle from your side, you're making contact out here. So there's about a 2-foot section where the paddle is picking up speed before it hits the ball. And that's why it's going high. That's why it's going deep. That's why it's going up into strike zone for your opponent. So if you just keep your paddle out in front of you to start with, then you have just a much smaller compact motion, and it's much easier to keep landing it in the kitchen with that smaller motion.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. Right, with new beginners, let's move on. We're looking at the lob.
Okay.
And I think probably for new beginners, it's, just kind of leave it alone really for now. What do you think?
You can. I would start introducing that maybe because the thing with beginners that I'm finding is they do a lob without trying to do a lob. So, some of them are very good at they're just trying to make contact with the ball, and they're constantly making contact with the paddle going up, and it goes over somebody's head and lands in bounds. And the beginners on the other side are saying, well, what could we do? You told us you want us to get up to the non-volley zone. And a lot of the beginners are just comfortable hitting the ball high like that. So I don't want to discourage that. But what I want to do is again, if I get 8 people in a clinic, a couple of them are going to be more advanced than others. So I will try to match those 2 up and give them chores at the same time. So on lobs, what I tell people is you don't want to, when we're hitting dinks, we want to hit the ball at apex. So when the ball bounces and comes up, right at the apex, that's when we want to hit the dink shot. That is not true of the lob as much. On the lob, we want the ball to actually start falling downwards so that our paddle is moving up as the ball is going down. And that way it's easier to hit it high and hit it over someone's head without being too aggressive. If the ball is bouncing too high, it's either going to be a very shallow lob, which is easily returnable and smashed, if you will, by the opponent, or it's going to go out. But if you can wait for that to just fall a little bit and then hit that lob, I don't have any problem with people experimenting with that if they feel more comfortable with the other things that we already learned, the forehand, backhand, volley, and dink. If they want to start experimenting with the lob, I don't think that's a bad idea. I will tune them in later to look at going over dominant shoulders, that kind of thing. But for right now, I think if some people just have a knack for that, Paddy, and I would encourage them to make that part of their practice.
Yeah. Good advice, I think. I mean, generally speaking, it's not a shot probably for a new beginner. It's not something you really want to go for, but if you find it natural, maybe you've come from tennis or something like that, or badminton, and I think Jeff's absolutely right. Well done. I'm absolutely right on that. Brilliant. Now let's move on to the next shot. New beginners. We're still with new beginners. The smash.
Okay. So keep it simple. Just keep it simple. So one of the things is the closer you get to the net, the easier it is to control that smash, that overhand. So the overhead. So when you're at the net, what I tell people is high five. Just the way you would go up and high five someone, your hand is in that natural position where the ball is in front of you and my hand is face down. So I'm just going to put my hand up and then just push straight down. And that way it's easier for them to have success right off the bat. It's also easy to teach slightly turning the hand in either direction to hit angles for a smash. So if I can get somebody if the ball is higher than their shoulder, I'm going to encourage them to hit it down. I mean, that's how we get points, Paddy. We hit it at people's feet. So
I think I think you're right. But I think one of the problems, and this affects all of us, not just people who are just starting off, but We try and sort of knock the hell out of it, which A, is quite dangerous, especially for seniors, and B, doesn't really work in this game. So I agree with Jeff. I mean, just, high five it back. I think that's a good rule of thumb. Well, we're doing really well. We've come to the 10th shot, the last shot with new beginners, which is the reset shot.
I just did a video on this on my site. It's not edited yet, but the reset shot is probably the hardest shot because it typically takes place in the transition zone. And so when we teach beginners, we teach you either want to be at the baseline or you want to be at the non-volley zone. You don't want to be caught. It's a no man's land, or if you're teaching women, it's no ma'am's land. But you don't want to be caught there because that's the hardest place. That's the easiest place for your feet to be caught. The ball is coming at you a little faster than it would be at the baseline. You don't have as much time to react. So the reaction part of the game is really hard for beginners. So I try to really keep them out of the transition zone. But if they want to learn that, then we work on, I don't know if you call it the slinky drill over in the UK or not. We call it the slinky drill over here, where we start the beginners at the non-volley zone, and we let them get comfortable with the dinking straight ahead to their opponent, and then we take 2 steps back. We get them comfortable hitting the same shot 2 steps back. Then they take 2 more steps back, and then 2 more steps back, and that is the beginning of resets, of drop shots, which are shots that we really want to develop. And then once they get all the way back to the baseline, they work their way up to the non-volley zone again. So that would be the secret to getting comfortable in that transition zone. But as a whole, I don't teach much about resets until maybe the very last lesson. If I have them for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, that's probably the last lesson when they feel comfortable. Because Patty, you know as well as I do, when you have to be able to feel that ball coming off your paddle in order to have success. So the first couple weeks, they're not feeling it quite yet. But after the 4th or 5th week, most of them are at least have a sense of when they hit the ball, depending on how hard they hit it, is going to show how far it goes. So that's when we'll start talking about resets.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. Right. Well, we've come to the end of the 10 shots for new beginners, rated 1.0 to 2.0. I mean, in summary, I guess it's where we started. Guys, get on court, hit it back and forth, have some fun, try and keep the rallies going. Don't worry too much about all these 10 shots that we talk about, but if you can, put them into your game every now and again, and don't be scared to give it a try. Was that a good summary, Jeff?
Yes, I would say pick 1 or 2 things to work on when you play a game. As a new beginner, you're not sure what your shots are going to be, but if you're having particularly tough shots with, if it's backhands, if it's hitting dinks, if it's hitting dinks straight ahead, put that. You're going to be playing in rec play. There are no medals. You aren't going to win a $50,000 purse. Have fun with it, but pick 1 or 2 things. Don't try to take all 10 of these. Oh, Jeff said this, but then I forget what he said about this. Pick 2 things. Go into this video. Pick out 2 things that you feel like you could accomplish something that particular night, and then work on those 2 things. Whether you get points or not is immaterial. It's whether you're getting better at that. It's we're looking for the future. We're not looking for the present.
Well, listen, that is absolutely brilliant advice. So, new beginners, we've reached the end of 10 shots. So it's goodbye from Jeff Gehm and Paddy Hunter-Murphy. Thanks so much for being with us. And
good luck, everybody.
Keep pickling, I guess. Okay. Cheers. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Senior Pickleball Tips podcast, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Now remember, we've got the Facebook group, we've got the seniorpickleballtips.com website, so please head on there if you want to be more involved. It would be great to see you. Okay, my Senior Pickleball Tips friends, paddle up, stay safe, and most importantly, have fun. Don't want to miss an episode? then follow and subscribe to the Senior Pickleball Tips podcast. Find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Audible, or even just ask Alexa. And please leave a rating and review. Okay, folks, we'll leave it there. See you on court. Bye for now.